Sure, sure. So, okay. So, hello everyone. My name is Shubham, and currently I'm having 5+ years of experience in SAP CPI, and I will be guiding you through this session and the upcoming sessions. Okay. And I will be sharing completely hands-on experience and the CPI basics, what is CPI, and the architecture and everything till the adapter and the iflows we will be creating throughout the sessions. Okay, so this is a quick introduction for me, and for all of you, like you can also give me some introduction about yourself, like what is your technical background, what is you are currently working right now. Okay, so that would be help me to understand more about you. Okay, so you can unmute yourself and just one by one you can tell me something about you. Okay.
Hi all, myself Gopala Krishnan. So I have close to 7+ years of experience into success factors. So my main module which I'm handling is into the employee central as well as the time management. So I just wanted to expand my knowledge into the CPI area also. So that is why I just thought I would attend this course. Thank you.
Okay, 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 Gopal, that is great.
Hi Tejasri, Vishal. You can also give your short intro so that he can understand about you and accordingly he can take it ahead.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I have almost 3 years of experience in SAP PIPO. So I want to learn this SAP CPI as per future perspective.
Sure, Vishal, thank you.
Hi all, good afternoon. So I have 3+ years experience in success factors in PV Central. So just wanted to have an idea on the integration side as well.
Okay, okay, Tejasvi, that is great. Okay, so I will just start with today's session. Okay, and I think all of you already know something about CPI. Okay, and it is an integration tool and why it is very famous. We all will discuss that. But first of all, like I wanted to know from you guys, like what do you think about CPI? How much you know about it, and what is your perspective about CPI? So you can just give me some 1 or 2 lines about it.
Yeah, this is SAP CPI's integration tool, which is work on the cloud base, so we can connect with the any cloud system.
Yeah, that is correct. Tejashri, Gopal, you wanted to share anything else?
So what I basically know is regarding that we were using the standard configurations like the Beam Boomi, which wherein there are standard packages which is actually given, but CPI actually gives you more flexibility for the connections as well as custom configurations can be done. That is as far as I know.
That is also correct. Thanks, Gopal.
Yeah, actually I have no idea on this CPI at all, Vishal. So I'm trying to learn now.
Okay, Tejashri, no problem. And we will be discussing about this, so you will be getting more idea about the CPI as well.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Hi, Praveen.
Hello.
Yeah, hi, Praveen. Uh,
Hi.
can you go ahead with a quick introduction about yourself? We will be discussing more about it.
Uh, I I am into SAP success factors, but I have limited knowledge on CPI. I wanted to know more about this.
Oh, that is great. Okay, Praveen. So okay, let's start with the session, and we will start discussing about SAP CPI here. Okay, so we already know that SAP CPI is an integration tool. Okay, but we have other integration tools as well, right? We know something like PIPO is also, and MuleSoft is also an integration tool. We have other SAP, non-SAP integration system also. So, but why CPI is very famous? Why people wanted to learn CPI instead of like something like on-prem integration system? Okay, so we need to actually know that CPI is a cloud-based integration system. Okay. So whenever we are saying CPI, that stands for SAP Cloud Platform Integration. Okay. So previously when it was started, so it was called as HANA Cloud Integration. Okay. HCI. And later on it was uh, named as CPI. Currently it is known to be like integration suite. Okay, so in integration suite we have other capabilities including CPI as well. Okay, so it is a, as it is a cloud based integration tool, we need to actually know something regarding it, that it is handling everything, providing every services, storing all the data on cloud only. Okay. uh
Ruhi, can
People,
you
you,
go on the mute, please? And Shubham, I think you haven't shared the screen.
yes,
Yeah.
I will start sharing also. Okay, so let me know if you can see my screen right now.
Yes, we can see.
Okay, okay. So as we were discussing that it is a cloud-based integration tool. So what is integration tool actually does? Okay, so basically, suppose we are having one system which has their own data, their own services which we are using. Okay, but we are in a need of using services from other system as well. Okay, we wanted to share our data, share our services, use services of other systems as well, but we wanted it by a middleware tool. Okay, because we do not have any direct connection with that services. Okay, so what we try to do it, we try to achieve it by the middleware tool. Okay, and SAP CPI provide us that capability so that we can integrate our system with the other system. Okay, to get data from them, to provide data to them. Okay, that pipeline, CPI will be helping us to build it. Okay, so that is where integrations comes into the picture, and it is very helpful for every developer to know about it if they are trying to enhance their skills as an cloud integration developer. Okay, so instead of like learning PIPO, like Vishal, I think you have already mentioned that you worked on PIPO. So PIPO is also an integration tool, but it is an on-prem integration tool. Okay. So for everyone, it is very important to know that SAP is providing their services till 2027 to PIPO. Okay. And after 2030, they will be stop providing services for PIPO. Okay, so many companies right now are using PIPO, as PIPO is very old, and PIPO means many companies have their integration built on PIPO only. So when we try to means enhance our system and to keep relevant to the upcoming technologies, CPI comes into picture, and CPI provides many capabilities which PIPO is not currently giving us. Okay, so it is helping our system to work upon from the on-prem system to a cloud system. Okay, so whenever we are trying to work on a PIPO system, we need to understand that all of our data and all of our storage is currently in the company only. Okay. And whenever we are trying to get data from other system, we do not have data, like our data is not in contact with any other company. It is not on any cloud. Okay. So we can't connect it and we can't access it from anywhere. Okay. So it is very specific that it is a in-house right now and we have to use it in-house only. Okay. But when we are trying to access it through the cloud system, then it is giving us the freedom that we can access it. We can enhance our analyzing uh, of data work, that we can increase it by anywhere and we can access it through any systems also. Okay, so that capability is provided by CPI. Okay, so we also need to understand that we can integrate our system to any system provided by SAP. Like we have many ERP products by SAP. Okay, and SAP is a, as an organization, as an helping tool, is used by multiple organizations. So the scope is very, very big. Okay. We have success factor, we have ECP system, we have S4 HANA, we have many systems. We have other B2B systems as well. We have other third party systems as well. And that all systems are currently available. And then we are trying to integrate to them with CPI. Okay. CPI has that capability also. Okay, so this is something which is very, very important to understand, that when we are talking about cloud, we need to understand our providers. Okay, so we need to know that how CPI is able to access to all of these tools, and who is the currently provider of it. Okay, so for knowing that, we have two services. Okay, so we already heard about it. That is one from Amazon, that is AWS, and one from Microsoft, that is our Azure. Okay, so these are the two providers providing their services to CPI, so that it would be accessible from anywhere. Okay, and there are multiple capabilities which they are providing. Okay, but we need to also understand that by depending upon these services, we are solving many problems which we are facing on when we are on on-prem system. Okay, like if we are based on AWS, so we are not having any downtime. Okay, we are not facing any kind of a maintenance time. Okay, we are always available to everyone. Okay, everyone can access our system. We do not have to wait for the system to be upgraded. We do not have to uh, like stop our services so that it is currently in a maintenance time. Okay, so this kind of functionalities which are provided by any cloud based services, that is very helpful for us to know. Okay, also, there is one thing, like if anybody has any question regarding any topic we are discussing throughout the session, then you can ask me in between. Okay, or we will be having a dedicated Q&A session in the end also, so you can ask there also. Okay, till now, anybody has any question right now? Okay, I guess we do not have any questions. So we will discussing about like our benefit on working on cloud and our like challenges we face on on-prem system. Okay. So we have already discussed that whenever we are using any on-prem system, we would be not be able to access the data. But when it is in cloud, we will be able to access it through anywhere. Okay. So also we need to understand that whenever we are using a CPI cloud-based system, we will be having that uh, capability to pay only for the services we are using. Okay, it is already built in AWS and Azure that for paying only for the services, how much you are using it. Okay, so suppose we are having a system which is using 1000 GB data, and we are trying to access it every day. Okay, so then it is making sense to pay for 100 GB data, 1000 GB data there. But just to keep our system up and running every day, but and also keeping in mind that it can be also happen that we, in a particular season, our system will be having a particular day traffic that of 1000 GB, but we are in a regular basis not having that much traffic on our platform. Okay, but for just to make our system working on that specific day, we are paying more for 1000 GB. So that is not making sense there, right? So AWS comes and provide us the service that how much you are using it, you will pay for that only. Suppose you for out of 30 days, for 29 days you only use 1 GB data, and for the last day on 30th day you use 1000 GB data, because that was something related to means very heavy traffic. We can take the example of IPL season. Okay, so suppose we are watching anything on Hotstar and we are trying to see the matches in the evening time. Okay, in the morning we are not seeing anything. Okay, and in the evening time for a particular 2 months, we will be having much more traffic in comparison of entire year. Okay, so what Hotstar is doing, it is taking the help of AWS, that you have to provide me your other servers capabilities, other servers help in this 2 months, in this 3 or 4 hours. Okay, so that is something which is very helpful for any cloud based service. Okay, and which is not there in on-prem systems also. Okay, so we also need to understand that it is helping us and saving us a lot of money in term of organization. It is very very important, like where you can save that this kind of cost. Okay, so that it will be helpful to grow your organization as well. Okay, so this kind of things will help more the organization to grow their business, because they are saving their cost. Okay, so in this picture we will be able to understand that why CPI is helping us and how it is helping us in many many scenarios. Okay, so we have seen that we have multiple cloud advantages. Okay, over on-prem system, we have seen it is helping us and the organization as well. We have seen that that it will be relevant in future, this technology will be relevant in future. And we have also seen that we have uh, option to connect with multiple systems as well. Okay, so as these many advantages are included in CPI, this is why it is very very important for anyone to learn about CPI as an domain. Okay, we have discussed that how CPI works. Okay, so how CPI is very important. Now we will discuss like how the entire flow works in CPI. Okay, so for that, some of the topics what we will be discussing today will be what is CPI. Okay, what are the core features and capabilities we will be seeing in CPI. Okay, and how actually CPI works. Okay, what is the integration and other SAP modules we will be seeing with them. Okay, and security and compliance, like you also got some idea in your back of the head, like whenever you are trying to, like whenever you are uh, giving your data to some other person. Okay, you are giving them accessibility to access it from anywhere. Okay, so that could lead many questions in your back of the head, that if you are a banking organization, then it would be very very hard for you to trust the other servers. Okay, trust them, like in the sense, like if you are sharing your data, that could lead to potential hackers to access your data in a wrong format. Like they will be accessing your data and try to breach the data, and could lead your organization to crash also. Okay, they can steal your data as well. Okay, so in that sense it is very very important for a cloud organization to provide multiple security options to our users. Okay, whoever is using their services, it should be having, means they should be having multiple option to secure their data. Okay, that could be trusted only if they are providing multiple security options. Okay, so that we will be also discussing that what security options CPI is providing for their tenants. Okay, we will be discussing that. Advantages of CPI we have already discussed in a very very short format. We will be discussing more about it in the later period. Okay, right now we will be also seeing the demo example, like how you will be creating your account. Okay, we will be briefly discussing about that, and how you can create a live example. We will be seeing that live example example like how you can create an integration flow, which will be called in short form like iFlow. Okay, so that we will be also discussing that. Okay, and if we will be having time, we will be also seeing a real world example provided by SAP, like we will see how that government service integration is happening with the ECP system through the CPI system. Okay, so that we will be seeing if time allows. Okay, and in the end we will be concluding the session and we will be having a Q&A in the end. Okay, so we have already seen and discussed CPI, like it is a cloud-based integration platform which is providing us seamless data integration to other systems. Okay, so as a cloud-based system, we have multiple capabilities provided by it. Okay, and why it is helping business to grow and access data from other organizations as well. Okay, we have discussed also that why it is very very important to move to cloud based integration instead of on prem integration. Okay, and we will be also discuss we have also discussed that if we are keeping our system on prem system, then what kind of challenges we will be facing, right? And how cloud is actually solving this problem. Okay, by providing multiple services. Okay, so we will be also seeing more. Okay, so now let's discuss like whenever you are trying to access a system, we need to actually do the backend configuration first. Okay, suppose like you are trying to run a Java application on your server, on your laptop. Okay, so what you will do, you first install JDK, है ना? Then you will be trying to configure that JDK in your laptops, and then you will be only able to run Java application in your system. Okay, you can run Java code in your system. Same thing, you have to do it in your BTP system. Okay, so what is BTP? Okay, so BTP is SAP marketplace. Okay, where it is providing multiple services to you. Okay, that you need to use it according to your needs. Okay, suppose it is also providing you ABAP configurable, it is also providing you event mesh, it is also providing you CPI. Okay, so then you need to go to BTP and you need to try to subscribe that service. Okay, so for using any services provided by BTP, you need to first subscribe that service. Okay, and then if you are using it, you need to purchase that servers. Okay, you need to purchase that license to use it further in your tenure. Okay, so first of all, we need to go to BTP to see the services available by it. Okay, and whenever you are using it, you need to make sure that your tenants are working properly. If you are not creating multiple like iFlows, multiple packages, multiple resources you are using it, your server load will be increasing. Okay, so you can take an example by to understand it, that whenever you are using a Dell Boomi. Okay, so Dell Boomi is also an integration platform provided by Dell. Okay, so you need to understand that whenever you are using a Dell Boomi integration tool, you have to pay for the external calls you make. Okay, suppose you are building a middleware tool, and to get the data and to post the data, you need to make external calls. Okay, that calls will be having the operation, something like post, something like get, something like put. You need to do the operation, and while doing the operation, while making that external calls, you need to actually pay for that. Okay, so that is very very difficult, because it can lead to multiple things. Okay, like whenever you are creating a middleware pipeline, you call the data and you have some data, and later on you realize in the integration flow that you need more data, then you make another call. If you're trying to get data in a loop, then it will be multiple calls. Okay, which will be costing you more. So what Dell Boomi actually does, they try to make a common connection and try to use it every time, so that it can reduce the amount. Okay, but that also like makes a CPI as a better integration tool, because it is not paying us for the external calls. It is just asking for the resources we are using it. Suppose we are using and making multiple packages, okay, multiple packages, and making our server heavy. It is we are creating multiple iflows, then we are using much more resources, and we will be paying for that only. Okay, so if we are within the range of a free service, then we do not have to pay for it. Okay, but if we are building multiple packages, then only we will be paying it. Okay, so that is also a very good benefit for using a CPI integration tool. We can also understand BTP system as an example, like a make my trip example. Okay, so we have all already gone through make my trip platform. Okay, we used some day for booking our hotels. We use some day to book our train tickets, plane tickets. Okay, so we have multiple services available there, right? So we can also see the BTP as a make my trip. Okay, we have multiple services available, like integration suite we have already discussed, event based we have already discussed, ABAP capabilities we have already discussed, and there are multiple more. Okay, so for you to take a BTP as a better understanding, you can take an example, make my trip as an same provider of services. Okay, after that we will be also discussing something related to our pre-built, pre-packaged integration content provided by SAP for SAP to SAP or SAP to non-SAP systems. Okay, so we have already seen that it is a inbound outbound integrations we will be creating in SAP CPI. So we need to also understand that the flow we can create from SAP to non-SAP system and non-SAP to SAP system as well. Okay, so that is very like giving you the edge. Like you can use the pre-built package provided by SAP. Okay, so where can you find it? You can find it into the Discover tab of CPI. Okay, we will show you in the later session. Like, but for now you can see it here. See, this is your Discover tab of CPI. Okay, so like whenever you are trying to, whenever you are having that access of a tenant, when you first log into it, you will be always seeing this page. This is your Discover tab. Okay, so here you can see uh, multiple packages are available by SAP. Okay, so you can always use those packages in your current iFlow. Okay, you can download it, you can copy that, and you can then edit it in the future also if you need it. Okay, so why these packages are available? So whenever we are creating iFlows, SAP also analyze your iFlows. Okay, SAP also knows the solution you are trying to create. Suppose there is a template available, and then you can use that template to integrate in your particular project. Okay, so what you can do, you can see and search in the Discover tab whether that end-to-end system is available or not. Okay, if somehow you find a integration which is 75% similar to your needs. Okay, so what you will do, you go to that package, you copy that package, then that package will be available in your design tenant. Okay, and you can then try to edit it. Okay, so this is very like saving of your time. Okay, so you will be just doing the configuration according to your system, and then the rest 25% you will be trying to edit that iFlow and create according to your needs. Okay, so that is also one benefit which is provided by SAP for you. Okay, so then there after that we will be having, so we will be seeing how CPI is very user friendly in UI UX. Like their template is very easy to understand, and we just need to understand how we can use the components available in the palettes. Okay, we will be seeing those palettes options. Okay, and those palette options we can use to access the components, and that components we will be accessing in our middleware tool to transform the data. Okay, so whenever we are taking the data from some source system, we need to actually use the components provided by SAP system to transform it. Okay, so suppose source system is providing any data, Okay, and that needs to be transformed in a particular format so that it would be accessible and acceptable by the target system. Okay, so that transformation of the data we will be doing with the help of SAP components. Okay, we will be also discussing the protocols available by CPI systems, which will be helpful for us to take data from the source and target systems. Okay, and that protocols we will be discussing, and we will be also discussing the adapters which will be necessary to connect our middleware tool with those target and source system. Okay, and we will be seeing the integration with SAP and SAP third party system in the demo. Okay, and multiple tenant tenancy is also there. So like you can understand it by a small example, like whenever you are trying to build any project. Okay, whenever you are working in any project, you need to first create 3 tenants for it. Okay, it can lead to 2 also, but generally we build 3 tenants. Okay, so what are tenants? Tenants are basically your environments. Okay, so first will be your development tenant, second will be your quality tenant or test tenant, and third will be your production tenant. Okay, so as you already know that these tenants are why these are used. So whenever you are trying to build any integration, okay, any iFlow, if you are building it, then you need to build it in your uh, you need to build it in your build tenant. Okay, so there what you will do, you will first try to develop that iFlow, test it with the demo data. So what are your demo data? The demo data will be a replica of your original format data, but it is not having exact data which we are using it. Okay, which we will be using in production. Okay, so they will provide your demo data, and you will be using that data to authorize your integration flow, authenticate if it is working properly for those data format or not, and you will try to build that iFlow. Once your satisfaction is very clear that yeah, this format data is working properly in our build tenant, in our development tenant, then what you will do, you will try to transport that integration flow from development tenant to quality tenant. Okay, we will be having multiple options to directly import and export that iFlow from dev to quality. Okay, so first of all you need to make sure in quality and dev you are syncing your iFlow. So suppose when you are testing that iFlow in quality and you find some defects. Okay, so you would not be changing directly in the quality tenant. Okay, you first go to your development tenant, there you will try to resolve that defect, and then you again import the data, import the iFlow in your quality tenant. Okay, so there you need to understand that if your iFlows are not in sync, okay, so later if you leave that project, it will be very difficult for new developer to sync your iFlow. Okay, because some changes you have done in quality, but it is not exactly replicated in your development tenant. Okay, so that would be very important to understand what are the best practices while you are building any iFlow. Okay, and when you are satisfied with the data transformation you are doing in quality, what you do it again, you transport it again to production tenant where the iFlow will be go live, and then it will be dealing with the original data from end to end. Okay, so that is also your tenancy. Okay, you need to understand that why it is very important to have 3 different tenants and why need to do this transportation of your iFlow. Okay, scalability wise also you need to understand that you have some capacity over your iFlows. Okay, so as we have already seen and discussed that how Delboomi is making external calls, right? So whenever you are making external calls, okay, you need to also understand that you are making a hello. Okay, so what we are discussing that suppose you are doing external calls. Okay, so while doing external calls you need to wait for the response to move ahead. Okay, so for that what you do, whenever you are making any calls in CPI as well, you need to understand that your performance should be very efficient. Okay, as less as you make external calls in any integration tool. Okay, Suppose you do a external call and you have not received the response from it and you are still waiting. Okay, so that could lead uh, like excess of and increase of time, which can lead to timeout, and then your iflow will be shutting down there and it will be not completing end to end. Okay, so that would be also a very important aspect to know, that if you are making a performance rich iflow, then you need to make less external calls so that you can scale it better. Okay, if you are trying to access a very large number of data, but you are trying to do it in a loop, that out of 1000 data, in first poll we will be accessing only 100 data, then in the second poll we will be accessing the next 100 data, and we will make 10 calls. But suppose in the eighth call you will be waiting for more than required. Okay, so then what we will do, we will be increasing the time for that iflow to run from end to end. Okay, and that could lead to timeout. And then when you are reaching the timeout time, your iflow will shut down automatically and you will not be able to scale till 1000 records. Okay, so that could also be a problem. Okay, so this is also one a very good practice to know, that whenever you are building an iflow, you need to make less external calls. Okay, so that your performance will be increasing. Okay, security features also we will be seeing that why encryption and decryption is very important. Okay, and what is the role based access you will be providing your CPI developer. Okay, so encryption wise, why it is very important by any CPI tenant to have it, like suppose you are accessing to a bank. Okay, you some banking organization or some government organization is your source system. Okay, or a target system, and they are trying to encrypt their data, they are trying to protect their data in such format, then you can access it through only some specific keys. Okay, some specific certificate which they will provide to you. Okay, and they are providing only in a encrypted format. So then you need to decrypt that information and try to convert it uh, according to your XML structure. Okay, also you need to remember one point, that you can only process your data in XML format in CPI. Okay, so whenever you are accessing any data from any like security focused system, okay, so then you can decrypt that data, then access that data, process it into XML format, and then whatever transformation you wanted to do it, you need to do that in XML only. Okay, suppose it leads to any mapping scenarios, it leads to any scripting required, and then you will do the transformation again, encrypt it in the format so that it would be acceptable by the other system, and then you will send it. Okay, suppose your target system is also very security focus, so then you need to encrypt it also. Okay, so this is very important to know, that why encryption decryption is also important for any data we are accessing. Okay, so sometimes you will understand also that whatever data you are receiving, okay, that is not in your XML. Okay, you are receiving it in JSON, you are receiving in IDOC format, you are receiving in CSV format. Okay, so CPI gives you the functionality or advantage of receiving data in any format. Okay, you can take data from any system in any format. Okay, you take that data, you either have already the converters available in your component, like CPI palette option, or you will be able to write scripts for converting that data to XML. Okay, suppose you are receiving a IDOC structure. Okay, IDOC structure, and you are having header files and you are having multiple item. Okay, and that particular file is in right now in IDOC format, and you are not able to convert that data into XML. Okay, through any converter available in CPI. So what you can do, you can try to write a script. Okay, that script will create an XML structure, which will be your XSG structure, and try to populate take the data from the CSV, take the data from the IDOC, and then populate it into the XML fields. Okay, so that script is will be helpful for you guys to populate the values into the XML structure, and that XML structure then later on you can use it in mapping to map it with the target structure. Okay, so scripting wise also CPI has a very big advantage that we can write scripts for it. So we need to also understand that SAP is continuously working on CPI so that it can provide us the palette options more, and we can do all the operations using the palettes. And to write the scripts, we will be using scripts very less, as much less as we can use it. SAP is trying to work on that. Okay, so that we will be not using scripts for everything. Okay, that functionality we will be trying to cover it through palette options only. So SAP is continuously working on that. Okay, also the role based access. Okay, so we need to also understand then whenever we are creating any CPI user. Okay, so that CPI user will be also created on BTP platform only. Okay, so whenever you are trying to connect to any CPI system, you need to have that developer roles assigned to your user. Okay, suppose your user is not having the developer options. Okay, so that developer option will not be like letting you to edit the iFlow, to access the iFlow, to access the data. Okay, so we have multiple roles like ESB messaging dot send, PI business expert, PI integration developer, provisioning, integration provisioning. So those roles are actually letting you allow and open the tools for you by which you can access and edit the iFlows. Okay, so that is very important to have those roles, collection of roles assigned to your user. Okay, so that is also very important thing. So we have already discussed like what is the architecture, general architecture for any CPI flow. Okay, so you can understand it as an like you will be always having a source system. Okay, you will be having then your middleware structure. Okay, and then you will be having your structure, target system. So what you will do, you will try to get data from the source system using different protocols and adapters. Okay, so suppose they are providing us the APIs. Okay, so then you can access their APIs, and that API will be giving you specific data which that system wanted to give you. Okay, and whenever you can take it as an example that if you are trying to integrate your S4 HANA system. Okay, and you have entities over there. Okay, so whatever data you are trying to access, suppose you are trying to integrate a material goods third party system which needs the goods information from S4 HANA system. Okay, so they will provide SAP is providing multiple entities. Okay, so S4 HANA system contains those entities from SAP. Okay, and those entities will be having multiple fields into those entities, which will be having the goods information, like when what is the goods number, what is the name of that goods, multiple information related to goods. Okay, and when you try to access those data, you need to connect to the S4 HANA system, get those data using the adapter which it supports, which is API, which API supports that adapter. So you need to access those entities, authenticate that entity, that connection, and then only you will be access of those data. When you try to access those data, you also need to understand that if you are authenticated or not. Okay, so suppose you are doing the authentication using the user. Okay, general user, like if you are having some credential based authentication, if you are having some certificate based authentication, if you are having credential based authentication, then you need to deploy those credential, your keys and your secret keys. You need to deploy those keys into your CPI system. Then only you will be using those alias names of those security keys to authenticate the connection. Okay, so when you authenticate the connection, you mention in the query what data you wanted to access from which entity, then you will be able to understand that those data is coming in your system, and that system middleware tool will be able to populate the source structure with those fields and those value. Then you use your operations, mapping operations, to modify it into the target structure. When you populate your target structure, then you can send those data into whatever format target is expecting, and then those data will be sent to the target system using the proper adapter which they were expecting. Suppose they expected a HTTP adapter and the source system is expecting a OData adapter. Okay, so what those adapters are there, what their functionalities, in which system is supporting which adapter. So those things we will be also seeing in the upcoming sessions, like uh, so that we will be using a specific adapter to connect to the specific systems. Okay, so those things we will be also seeing it. Okay, so when you are trying to send that data with the particular system, then you also need to understand that their authentication is also very important. Okay, so their credential and their keys and certificate should be also there in your system to authenticate it. Okay, so those things we will be seeing. Okay, so we have also discussed like end-to-end scenarios also. Like suppose you are, this is also one of the scenarios, like where you are integrating your S4 HANA system to any third-party system. Okay, so this is one scenario you can discuss, but we will be seeing exactly how you build a like a hands-on experience on this. Okay, we will be doing it one by one. Okay, so we will be dealing with different scenarios where we will be integrating our S4 HANA system. We will be seeing third party system, we will be integrating them. Okay, so that we will be seeing. Other than that, we will be also seeing a walkthrough of whatever we are building in the CPI system. Okay, like how you can see how you can drag and drop the components of palette options in your middleware. Okay, so what is your sender system there, what is your receiver there, how you are modifying it in the mapping. Okay, so mapping, suppose you can understand that uh, doing the configuration to sender system and the receiver system is just a halfway part. Okay, that is very important, but it is doing just the half work. Okay, transforming your data is the rest part. Okay, that is something which is very important to understand, like how you populate your mapping. Okay, how you get the data in your source and how you are get the data in your target system and how you are connecting it. Okay, so mapping is very important. Okay, so you need to first focus on the connection, and then you can try to focus in your mapping so that you can transform your data very well. Okay, so that you need to also keep in mind. Okay, we will be seeing BTP. Okay, so this is one very good example of BTP. So I will be showing you this one. So I will log on to BTP platform. Okay, so that you will see the screen and get the idea like how BTP actually looks. Okay, so see, this is a BTP platform. Okay, as you can see, we have multiple services options. Okay, we are having security option, connectivity option. Okay, so we will be seeing those. Okay, but whenever you are trying to go to services and you are going to service marketplace. Okay, so why it is called a marketplace? Because here you can try to go to any service and then you can try to subscribe it. Okay, So when you subscribe it, it will be added to your instance. Okay, then that instance will be having access to all the services provided by that particular uh, like integration suite. So when we try to access it, we click on any service. Okay, so here if you try to integration suite, okay, so this is your integration suite. Okay, so right now I have already subscribed it, that is why it is showing create. But when you have not subscribed it, it will be showing you the subscribe option. You will click it here, and then that particular service will be added to your instance. Okay, so as you can see, I have already added it into our instance. Okay, integration suite is here. Okay, so we have seen it. Okay, right now, and when you are assigning it, okay, so we have also created one environment. Okay, so these all things will be something which we will be discussing step by step for everyone. Okay, in the upcoming sessions. Okay, so we will be discussing everything. If you are stuck anywhere, okay, so then we will be trying to resolve everything. Okay, so that you will be having access to your CPI system. And then when you are having that system available to you, then you can go ahead and try to experiment a lot to connect and to modify the data. Okay, you can play around and you can try to build different integration. Sometimes you can try to use the pre-built integration. Sometimes um we will be helping you to build an integration which will be integrating to SAP to SAP to non-SAP system. Okay, so we will be trying to show you as much as example as possible, so that you will be having more idea upon the connectivity and transforming a data. Okay, so also whenever you are here, you will be also creating your CPI account. Okay, so that also we will be showing you. Okay, so here you can see your user. Okay, in trial account. Okay, when you click it here, you will be seeing one option like access role. Okay, see here access role. So when you click on access role, you will be searching multiple roles. Okay, and then you will be adding those by clicking here. Okay, and then you can assign roles. Okay, so you can see I have assigned multiple roles. Okay, integration provisioner. Okay, PI administrator, business expert, integration developer. Okay, so these are roles which are very necessary for you to have it to create your tenant accessible to package and iflows. Okay, so for that you need to assign these roles. Okay, so we will be briefly only seeing it right now. Okay, and here when you assign those roles to your tenant, you can go back to your instance. Okay, you can then try to, yes, here you see a button called this one. Okay, this one, this is your button to go to your application, go to your CPI tenant. Okay, so when you click it here, you will be redirected to this integration suite. Okay, so this is your main platform. Okay, where you have to build your integration. Okay, you will be not going to BTP. Okay, every now and then. Okay, BTP is just your, suppose you are in need of booking railway tickets. Okay, so you will be going to CPI tenant, you will be going to IRCTC on that particular reason only. Okay, so if you are trying to build your integration, you need not to go to BTP every time and then go back to your CPI tenant. Okay, so this particular link will be your specific link according to your like whatever tenant you will be creating. Okay, and suppose you are in some CPI project, then they will provide you the tenant and they will create a S user for you. Okay, S user is SAP user which will be assigned for you, and then your S user will be having access to that environment. Okay, so they will be providing your S user the access of CPI systems. Okay, so when you have your CPI system, okay, so basic understanding will be that you need to go to discover, design, and monitor. This will be three very important tabs you wanted to go to every day. Okay, so discover, we have already discussed that what it is. It is a pre-built, pre-packaged iflows built by SAP. available to you to access it in your system. Okay, so if you suppose click on any package, okay, I clicked on first one, but you can search your according to your needs, and you can then go to and click here on the copy button. Okay, so you can see. So also we will be we have not discussed what is packages. Okay, so packages you can consider it as an group of artifacts. You see here as an artifacts. Okay, we have 9 artifacts. Okay, what is artifacts? Artifacts is a collection of your iflows. Okay, so artifact is your collection of iflows, and artifacts is under the package. Okay, so hierarchy will be package, artifacts, iflows. Okay, so when you click on artifact, you will be seeing this. Okay, this page. Okay, see, this is your iFlow integration flow. Okay, so when you go here, you can see the entire flow, and you can try to either edit it, or you can try to means create your own also. So when you try to create your own, okay, you need not to go to discover, you need to go to design tab. Okay, so when you click on design tab, so here you will be creating your package, and there you will be creating your iflows. Okay, so first step will be to create your package. Okay, then in the package you will create your iflows. Okay, so always you need to understand that based on your integration. Okay, suppose you get some requirement from your functional team. Okay, so you need to first understand the functional aspect, what is your need. Okay, through that documentation you sometimes need to connect to your client also to understand the architecture, like which will be your source system, which will be your target system, what data you will be transferring, what services you will be required to implement that iflow, what adapters and what APIs you will be using it to connect to different systems. Okay, what is your mapping sheet which will be guiding you to map your source and target system. Okay, so these are some basic questions you need to answer it. You need to answer it through your functional document. Okay, so every time whenever you are correcting, you need to connect and understand these things. Okay, then only you will be creating your package. Okay, so what your package will be, that package will be specific to any specific functional need. Okay, suppose you are creating a system from any Hydra system which is connecting with your any SAP system. Okay, so then your package can be some serial number which you are following some naming convention, and then you can write it as a iflow 001 underscore Hydra to S4HANA. Okay, so that can lead your package name. Okay, under that package you can create your iflow specific to your material goods. Okay, so material goods to Hydra to material goods from Hydra to S4HANA system. Okay, so that is your iflow name. Okay, so that can help you to also, whenever you are coming back to your iflows, you need not to go to iflow and then try to understand what is this. Okay, you need to see the adapter configuration to understand what services, what entity we were using it. Okay, so that is giving you also a better readability or understandability by the naming convention you are following. Okay, every organization, every project has a specific naming convention. Okay, so you need to always have that best practice in your mind, that you need to follow that naming convention, so that that would be helping you to give your project in future to someone, and then they will be also understanding it by just reading it and doing the overlook. Okay, so it is also very important as a developer to see that whenever you are trying to build an iflow, okay, always do the best practices, so that your organization is whenever providing your build to any other organization for maintenance. Okay, so this happens a lot in IT field, that a client always try to build that interface, build the iflows from a company, and then it will try to give it for maintenance to a cheaper company, okay, who's providing the same maintenance work but at lesser cost, okay, by because they are putting a lot of money for a build and they can't give more money for just maintaining it, okay. So sometimes it happens that they provide that entire build to some other company, okay. So as a developer, it is very very important you build a very good iflow, okay, so that it will also enhance the name of your organization, okay. If you build a bad iflow which is not readable, which is very lengthy, for everything you have created another iflow, you are not combining everything in one, and you are not building a very readable iflow, that looks very odd, like you have not synchronized everything in a format. So that would not in like harm your workability, like it is working but it is not readable, it is not looking good, okay. So it should look good also, okay. So that would be one very good practice, okay. And SAP is also keep on working on it, okay. SAP is having multiple uh, business practices, okay. You can also see a multiple capability provided by SAP, so that it can give you AI based solutions, AI based suggestion, so that you follow best practices, okay. So how you can see it, you can see it by seeing different suggestions, okay. So we have palette options, we can see it here. um, okay, here also we can see it, okay. See, this is also we have discussed, like this is your trial account, okay. This is your overview, like whenever you first go to your BTP cockpit, okay, and whenever you are logging it for the first time, this is how it looks, okay. You go to service marketplace, you search integration suite, you subscribe to it, okay, then you assign roles for to it, okay, and then you will be clicking on that button, which is your uh, go to application button, okay, this blue button, okay, and then you will be going back to your iflow, okay. Sorry, CPI tenant, okay. So when you go there, okay, first you will be seeing, see, this is also an integration suite, but when you have not assigned the capabilities, okay, to your user, you can see that there is only home button, okay. You are not seeing discover tab, you are not seeing design tab, you are not seeing monitoring tab, okay. So this is just your iflow, this is just your integration suite with zero capability, okay. But when you assign all the roles, okay, when you assign all the roles, you can see that you are having home, discover, design, test, configuration, monitor, and these are some API management tools also, okay. So now we will be discussing four capabilities provided by the SAP system, okay. So what are the four capabilities? Those are your four capabilities for managing APIs, building iFlows, providing connectors to connect to any third party or SAP systems, and then your business advisor, integration advisor, okay. So these are your four capability, okay. So first is your integration, cloud integration, okay. So this will help you to access, and this will help you to provide you the services which is necessary to build the iFlow. API management is very very important nowadays to understand with CPI, okay, which we will be covering in this upcoming like in the coming sessions, why API management is necessary for a CPI developer to know, because SAP included API management in the same integration suite, okay. Now whenever you are trying to access any system through API, you always need to manage that API it in some scenarios for your client, okay. That gives you an extra layer of security whenever you are trying to access any API, okay. So in API management, you always uh, restricting the access for your users. You can manage that API that in a way that people will be accessing it and you will be monitoring it, okay. You can understand it by this, okay, that if someone is trying to access your API, okay, for more than 100 times, okay, you can restrict it, okay, and you can also monetize it also, okay. So suppose you are having your API, okay, and that API is accessible for everyone in a day for 20 times only, okay. That any integration using your API, you have built one API for getting the people information from success factor, and that API you are providing right now, and one integration is using that API to get the people information from success factor, and it is just accessing it once in a day. So then it is not using the entire quota, okay. So it is within the free limit, okay. And it is very very easy that you can sometimes uh, reach the timeout time and try to access it again, because your integration have not completed from end to end, okay. So you again tried, then you use 2 times, then you again tried, because unless you are not succeeded, you are trying again and again to access that API if your timeout time is not reached, okay. So then what it happens, that if you are trying to accessing that API more than 20 times, okay, you can also monetize that connection, okay. So for accessing more than 20 times, you need to pay a little extra, okay. So this is a revenue model which SAP is creating for API providers, okay. So those capabilities are very very important for someone like a CPI developer to know about it, okay. So this is also one very important thing. And then there is a API advisor, okay. So as an from name we can understand that why it is very very important for someone to follow the business standard from a SAP point of view, okay. As we have already discussed, they are always trying to means upgrade the API, upgrade the CPI system, and whenever it is upgrading, it is trying to include more and more AI based business standard advice to the CPI developer, okay. So whenever a developer is trying to build it, they are getting more suggestions to use that component and use it in a way so that it will be following the business standard, okay. So this is your API advisory, okay. And then there is also an open connector, which is to connect with your third party on-prem cloud any system, okay. So that is your connectors, okay, which will helping you to connect with different system. So these are the four capabilities with your CPI user to have it, okay. Your CPI user must have these four capabilities, okay, whenever you are building it, okay. And when you assign these capabilities, you will be also assigning roles, okay. And we will be helping you to build it in a level so that you will be having the capability in your like user, and you will be also seeing some steps where you are failing, okay. So whenever you are trying to create your user in BTP, you sometimes face a scenario where you are trying to go to your CPI tenant, but you are seeing the same issue that your roles are not assigned to your CPI system, okay. So then you will understand that this kind of scenario is coming only when your laptop, your browser is saving cache memory, okay. Why I'm sharing this, because it happens to me when I was creating this sub account, okay. And I will be also sharing this kind of scenarios where you will find different errors, okay, and how you can resolve those errors, okay. So that it would be also helping you to resolve and troubleshoot those errors, okay. So I have faced this. Why it was happening? According to the documentation provided by SAP, it was just to click on that go to application button, and then you will be able to access the CPI tenant, okay. But for me, it is asking me to assign that role, which I have already covered in the previous steps, okay. So what I did, I just go to the history of browser, I cleared the cache memory, and when I relaunch that browser, and when I re-log into the BTP platform, and I will be seeing that it is redirecting to me the CPI tenant, okay. So these are some errors which we will be helping you, so that you will not face any issue while building, while creating any user in your BTP, while building any iFlows, while building any uh, integration, okay. So that will be also covering in the upcoming session, okay. So we have already seen the BTP platform. Okay, now we will be seeing the monitor tab. Okay, so as we have discussed, that discover is for seeing the pre-built packages, access it in your design tab for enhancing it, editing it, or you can build any integration from scratch as well. Okay, so that is something is in design tab. Okay, we need to also understand that there is monitor tab, which is very necessary for any CPI developer to know. Okay, because whenever you are building an iFlow, its main motive is to transform data from one system to the another system. Okay, and whenever it is completing entire end-to-end route, okay, so then it is creating a success message which you can see in CPI system. And how you can see it? You can see it in the monitor tab. Okay, so it is giving you a upper look, okay, where you can see how many integration out of your entire tenant is properly working, how many are successfully deployed, how many are successfully running, how many are discarded, okay, and how many are creating any error. Okay, so that you can see it here. Okay, so as you can see, the first palette here is having all the artifacts. Okay, so as you can see, this particular monitoring tab is having multiple artifacts, and that multiple artifacts have multiple iflows. And for a CPI tenant to go to all the iflows whichever is active and running, it is very important to give you that a number of iflows which are creating error, because you cannot go to every iflow and see that this iflow is failing. Okay, so it gives you a certain filtering options available for you, so that you can see it by filtering all the iflows, that this is the error we are getting. Okay, also you need to understand that whenever you are dealing with SAP, then you need to also have an ability to understand the blogs you are reading it. Okay, so it happens a lot that whenever you are trying to build any iflow, you will be seeing different errors. Okay, we will be covering most of them, but you will not be seeing any error to you which is not encountered by any other developer in the past. Okay, so what they do, they ask on SAP blogs, and people from senior experiences, they create an answer for it and they try to reply it to their queries. Okay, so this is how SAP blogs are created. This is for those who doesn't know that SAP has a blog system also, where people are asking their queries, and senior people or experienced people come who already resolve those errors and give their suggestions. Okay, that you can go to this, you can click here, you can try to change the certificate, you can try to use the updated configuration. Okay, so this type of suggestions you can always see. Okay, so it is a very good practice to always try to resolve those error with your experience. If you are not able to try it, if you are not able to resolve it, then you should also try help of blogs. Okay, because then only you will understand that resolving this type of issue has a better approach to it. Okay, so this is something very important to know. Okay, instead of blocks, also you need to understand that resolving data error will be your base requirement in any kind of a support project. Okay, because whenever you are getting a maintenance task, and you are a new learner to CPI. Okay, so it is very common for every like new CPI developer to be placed in a support project. Okay, where what your task will be as in support, like as an CPI resource in a support project, is to deal with this monitor tab. Okay, because here you will be seeing all your iflows, and you will be responsible for every troubleshooting of those errors. Okay, client is expecting as an CPI resource to have a particular reason why that iflow failed at that time with this 400 error, why it is 403, if it is failing due to any credential authorization issue, if it is failing due to data errors, why it is failing. So as in CPI resource, you need to always try to debug as many problems as you can. Okay, so then what will happen, that if you see any error, then back in your mind you will be always remembering that yes, this problem will be solved by updating the credential. Yes, this problem will be solved by using a custom entity from S4HANA. Okay, so this type of uh, intuition you can build by resolving as many errors as you can. Okay, so in programming also, always you solve the problem if you have already solved that question in your like past. Okay, so then you have an approach to solve it. Okay, so that kind of intuition you will be building throughout your tenure. Okay, so this is very very important, okay, to have it. Okay, and we will be trying to give you as many as different problems as we can. Okay, so that you can come up with an approach. If you are not able to come up with an approach, we will be helping you to build that intuition so that you can further enhance, means build it very quickly. You try to solve that error, troubleshoot that error very very quickly. Okay, we will help you to that. Okay, you can always see in the monitoring tab that you have multiple options for monitoring your I flows. You will be always seeing that how many I flows are in started state, like it is up and running, and how many are error encounter, how many of them are encountering errors. Okay, suppose we have multiple option in monitoring tab, like we have security material in the last row, you can see. So security materials are basically something which is for deploying your credentials. You can see key store, you can see pgp keys. So basically these keys are provided by your client to have it in your system, so that they can use that keys to authenticate the connection. Okay, the key pair we will be also discussing. Okay, how many access policies are there to authenticate and everything. Okay, how many jdbc materials we are using. Okay, what is the user role we are using. Okay, or to connect with any system, there is also a connectivity test option available for you. Okay, so that connectivity is test option is for you to test the connectivity of any third party system without building an iflow. Okay, so why it is very important that every time you need not to build the connection. Sometimes what you do, you have already built the connection, you have already built the iflow, you do all the mapping transformation, but what happened that every year client is updating their certificate. Okay, and you just need to do what, you just need to delete that older certificate from your tenant and just download that new certificate and then upload it into your system. Okay, so that is the activity just you wanted to do. So what do, you do a connectivity test, you go to their servers, you build a successful connection with the credential, then you download their certificate, and then when you download it, you upload it into the key store. Okay, now that new certificate is available in your key store. So then that alias name you can assign it to your integration flow without changing anything, just using the updated alias name. Your connection is again restarted, the connection is started working again. Okay, so this is kind of things which you can do with connectivity testing. Okay, suppose you are getting some requirements from your functional team that you need to test it, and you need to understand if your CPI system has the particular access roles to connect it to the S4 HANA system, and you are trying to think that if that connection we are trying to test it in connectivity testing, then it is very very helpful for you to not to build a Okay, so we have discussed about the connectivity testing as well. Okay, so this kind of scenarios we will be trying to give you. Okay, so that you can be able to understand that how we can build a connection to different system without building an iflow, just to have the like clear answer to functional team, clear answer to your client that yes, we can build this iflow. Okay, so this kind of things we will be also trying to implement in the upcoming sessions. Okay, So now finally we will be seeing how an integration flow looks. Okay, how it is looking like a basic overview. Okay, so see, like from the left side you will be having these options, and here you can see that here is the sender box. Okay. Um, Okay, so I think you can see my pointer right now. Okay, so here is a sender box. Okay, and this sender box represent your source system from where you have to take the data. Okay, this is integration process. Okay, so from basic understanding, what you should have, that all the transformation you need to do it here. Okay, you need to add multiple components from your palette. Okay, the palette, if you see the palette, this is your palette. Okay, this entire line is your palette options. Okay, these are your palette options, and from going to each palettes you can go to different components. Okay, like this is one content modifier component. Okay, so this component you can go to different palettes and try to drag and drop those palettes and try to add it into your iFlow. Okay, so when you add it, it will do its task and try to change the data. Okay, and changing data from one format to another format, which is very necessary. Okay, and this is your receiver system. Okay, so receiver system is something which is your target system. Okay, so you need to understand that you need to have these three things in your iFlow always. Okay, one will be representing your source system, one will be your middleware system where you will be doing the data transformation, and one will be your receiving system. Okay, and this dotted line is actually a kind of an adapter. Okay, which is process direct here. Right now we have multiple adapters to connect with different specific system with the different adapters. Okay, this is depicting your adapter for a receiver called process direct. Okay, process direct, as for now you can understand it like it is to call a different iFlow in a different iFlow. Okay, so you can also understand it by it calling an iFlow within an iFlow. Okay, so that you can take an example of a function in a program. Okay, that you sometimes need to create another function in your flow if you are calling some set of lines every time, every now and then. Okay, so what you can do, you can create another function for it and then you can call it whenever you need it. Okay, so that kind of thing you can also do it. Okay, so we will be also telling you different scenarios where you will be given a scenario and you will be rethinking that if we try to do it in a function manner, if you try to do it in a calling different iFlow, if we try to create it, then it would be a better solution. Or if it will be a connection where we will be calling an external system directly here, will be a better solution. Okay, so which kind of approach will be giving you to build a better iFlow? Okay, so that help is all that is something where we will be trying to also help you. Okay, so this is one iFlow example. Okay, so we have already discussed about the data encryption, what data encryption is necessary, what is the role based access control we will be seeing, we will be assigning to any CPI user. Okay, that also we have seen. Okay, why it is having very low maintenance. Okay, because SAP is handling and providing, continuously working to provide as many as features to a CPI build developer. Okay, we have seen why it is very scalable. Okay, flexibility, we can say it that we have having multiple adapter options to connect our system with a different third party and SAP systems. So that is why CPI is very flexible to connect with any system. Okay, faster in time. Okay, so you can also take it an example of understanding why it is faster. Okay, so suppose you are given a task and you are only doing it. Okay, so then you will do it in a certain time. Okay, suppose you are doing it in a like you working 8 hours a day, and that particular work needs to be done in 16 hours, that requires 16 hours, so you will be only able to complete it in 2 days. Okay, right. But suppose you are having one more friend of yours, okay, which is also working on the same task. He is working as many hours as you will do. Okay, so you completed 8 hours, he completed also 8 hours. That work is done in one day. Okay, so this is something very basic to understand that whenever a CPI integration is triggered to run, okay, so whenever it is triggered to run, it is trying to connect with the source system. Okay, so it is first going to the source system, it is asking data to the source system, it is then getting it into the middleware, it is trying to transform it, and then it is trying to send it to the target system. Okay, but if he's doing only alone, okay, and some other external working node is also working with them, okay, so then it will assign it to the working node a help. Okay, then the working node will be having external help by other nodes. Okay, and then that working nodes will be speeding up the process, speeding up the entire end-to-end connection. And due to that, due to this core like architecture, okay, this is helping the iFlow to run it within seconds. Okay, this is helping to process the data within seconds. Okay, this is why CPI is providing much more benefit to integration market. Okay, because it is providing the faster approach to solve, to provide data from one end to another end. Okay, this is very very important, a very very core concept of CPI, which is to have that speed up working node help. Okay, okay, so we have discussed many things. Okay, and why CPI is important to the market, why it is in very much demand, why it is very famous, why people are trying to learn more and more about CPI. Okay, how the architecture of the CPI works. Okay, how many components are there, how there is many protocols CPI is able to perform, how many adapters are there, how we are building one connection to another connection. Okay, we have discussed everything. Okay, we will be also seeing some hands-on experience, okay, in the upcoming sessions. Okay, and we will be trying to teach you that intuition, like which will be helping you to build a better iFlow, a better like approach to follow, so that you are building a standard business standard iFlow. Okay, so that will be that we will be trying to help you. Okay, and then there is okay, before question and answer, we will be mm, trying to see if we can build any. See, here it is a create option. If I click on create, so see, when you click on create, you are given this new package. Okay, so you can give any name to that package. Okay, then you click on save. You see a pop-up like this package has been saved. Okay, you go on artifact. Okay, here right now we are in a edit mode, that is why you are seeing the add option. Okay, so when you create a new package, you can always have a very good practice in your head. Okay, that you need to always save that package and then cancel it. Okay, so see here your package right now, it goes for package as well, it goes for artifact as well. Okay, Because why I am telling you this is a very important step to follow. If you and your peer developer is also working in a same tenant and you both are trying to work in different iflows. Okay, suppose in a package you are working on one iflow, in the same package other day your peer is also free and he is now building the other iflow. Okay, but he will not be seeing this add option. Okay, he as you can see here is an add option, because that particular package is open for your S user ID. Okay, that package is open and assigned to your S user ID. So whenever it is open for you, the other S users will not be able to create any iflow because it is logged on your S user ID. So it is a very good practice to remember always whenever you have created a package and you need not to like do any other task. Okay, so then what you should do, you should do the edit option, then save that edited part, and then you need to click on cancel, so that that package, that artifact will be unlocked from your S user ID, and then you will be able to allow other S users, peer developers, to edit the same package. Okay, and build their iflows. Okay, so here in add we will be having this integration flow. We can give it any name. Okay, test underscore one. Okay, id it will be creating for each iflow whenever we are giving their name. From their name they are trying to create one id for it, so that from the id, whenever that id we will be trying to paste it into the monitoring by name. Also in the monitoring we can try to search that particular iflow. Okay, so that is one advantage. Okay, description we can do anything for now. In the sessions we will be following up some naming convention there, so that we will be creating a very good iflow. Okay, we click on add. Okay, here if you have seen, we will be having two options. One was to create it, one was to upload it also. Okay, so suppose you have created one iflow and you are having that iflow as a template. Okay, suppose you are having created one iflow template. Okay, so in your other iflows you will be also following up with the same approach. You, that structure will be able to copy to every other thing. Okay, so what you can do, you can create a template. Okay, you click on this action button and you can download it. Okay, when you can download it, it will download that package for you. Okay, and then it, that particular iflow, you can go to add. Okay, you can click on integration flow, then you can upload, and then you can browse that to add it directly. You can give another name and then you can save it. Okay, so this is something which you can follow to save the time. Okay, so that is the option also there. Okay, we will be discussing more in detail about everything, like how and what is the best practice you should be doing in there. Okay, so we have already seen how you have created one package. We have seen one iflow, how you have created one iflow. Okay, so whenever you are going there, okay, now what we have did, we have like here right now. Okay, so this is your first, okay, this is your first interaction. I hope everyone have seen it, that here you can see the name. Okay, here you can see the deployment status, that this particular iflow is not yet deployed. Okay, deployed means it is not yet running. Okay, we can see it here. Okay, and when you click on edit, you can see that gray blurred options of your palette is now in active state. Okay, you can see multiple palette options are available here, and you can go to different palette options like sender, receiver, different sub processes, starting and ending events. Okay, you can see different palette options for mapping, for content change. Okay, you for transforming your data. Okay, we will be discussing every palette options and when to use, how to use it in the upcoming session. For now we will be just having this one, and we will be saving this. Suppose some additional changes we have done it here. Now we have saved it, and then we will be canceling it. So that same thing which we have discussed, that if you are not canceling, click on cancel. Okay, if you have saved it and you have not click on that cancel button, then this iflow will be also logged on your S user ID. Okay, and then suppose the changes you have made and saved it, but you haven't clicked on cancel, that will be still on your name, and you will not be able to allow any other developer to come and edit that iflow. Okay, so this is something which will like not allowing other peers to work on your iflow. Okay, they will not come here, and click on edit. Okay, because now here you have seen that deployment status is not deployed. After not deployed, there will be an like another message which will be written here called logged by this S user ID or this email ID. Okay, so that you will be able to see that this package is right now logged on some other name, and you will not be able to edit it. Okay, so this why it is necessary, because it always gives the person to save it and do not allow to anyone else to edit it. Okay, so that it kind of in some cases are a very good protection also, that someone comes your iflow and do some changes, and now your iflow is not working. Okay, so this is to protect that also, it is locking on your name. Okay, but if your peers are also allowed to work on it, then you should not be doing that. Okay, so now I have clicked on cancel. This entire iflow is saved and unlocked from my name. I go to this package again. Okay, I clicked on save again because I do not have to add any other package here, any other iflow here. I clicked on saved. I got a message like demo package has saved. I clicked on cancel. So as you can see, that add option is right now gone. Okay, why it is gone? Because when I click on edit, then only I will be seeing the add option. I can't add anything right now. I can just only view it. Okay, I can go to this iflow, but I can't edit any package, like in the sense we cannot add any other iflow here. Okay, so this is something we can see it. Okay, so this is the entire demo right now for all of you, like how you can create your trial account, how you can assign roles, how you can assign capabilities to your S user ID, then how you can go to your CPI tenant, and then how you can create packages, how you can create an iflow, everything. Okay, from now on in the upcoming sessions, we will be getting scenarios, we will be getting known to all the components, and then we will be trying to end-to-end iflow to different system. We will be focusing much more on mapping part, so that we can do a very hard transformation. We can do mapping, we can understand different mapping functions. Okay, so this all things we will be discussing in the upcoming sessions. Okay, so this is all about the practicals. Okay, and now if any one of you have any questions, you can ask me. We will be trying to answer all of your questions.
Mohammad Rui, Tejasri, Vishal. Do you have any questions for Shubham with regards to anything?
No, no, nothing.
Yeah, I have one, two question on this.
Yeah, please share.
Are we covering B2B scenario as well?
Yeah, sure. We will be surely covering B2B scenarios.
Okay, or any migration as well?
Migration from?
SAP PO to CPI, like
Uh,
just steps.
we can discuss it as a
Mhm.
part of CPI. It is not under it, but definitely we will be seeing the activity where you can do it. Okay. As
Yeah,
in
okay.
learning CPI, it will not be the included part, but definitely in the bonus session we can discuss it. Not a problem.
Yeah, okay, thanks.
Sure, Vishal.
Ruhi, do you have any questions? Joshua, I think he is connected yesterday. I think Shubham, you are sharing screen something. Okay, guys. So I would request you can. I'm going to share the recordings of yesterday's and today's session with the all who are registered participants. You can go through it again. And if you want to enroll for this batch, you can connect with me. I, I believe you are already the part of WhatsApp group, right? Somebody is there who is missing on the WhatsApp group? Vishal, Tejasri, I think you are the part of group, right? Or you have my number, right?
Yes, yes.
No worries. So you can reach out to me if you want to enroll. So we can discuss further what will be the fees, what additional bonuses we are giving, or what kind of the approach we are following for the trainings. Okay. So thank you all for joining. See you.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye bye.